What is the conscience?
Every day we look around and see so many examples of directed purpose and action. When looking at us as a species, we often stop and wonder, why do people do what they do? And why do people do evil, or why does bad things happen? I believe that action is directed as thought. People choose to do evil and choose to not think. The obligation is directed to self, as well as the neglect and rape of one's own ability can be chosen. All I can say is, this is not what existence is, and to fly is so much more beautiful than it is to fall and hurt yourself. Conformative structure and societal indoctrination, in its very nature, is limited and corrupting. How can but then again, how can all or any one thing be bad if it's simply what it is? Would you tell an apple that it's wrong from falling from its mother, or ask it to apologize to the ground for falling on it? You have been taught what life is and what a human is. This is the enemy, the lie. You see over there, rather than this, in this you now. In your is now, inside you will find the answer. Not of mind, nor soul, but of be. Never focus on what you want to do. Instead, be in this moment with all of your eye. Then a task will be done fully. The task, as self. To live as self can only be achieved if it's happening from within yourself, in your now. There was a debate a while back where a question was asked, what is the difference between the I that is being in the now and the I going about its learned routine? Why is one of these two sought after? I think by conditioning your I to shed expectations of what should be, and to stop thinking about what has just happened. Letting yourself be at peace with just this moment, the sigh of your exhale. How does the I in beingness differ from the I of conditioning? I think that conditioning is not an action, nor is the I of beingness something to actively put in motion, as you cannot put in motion yourself. What then is it that recognizes this difference? Well, the divided consciousness, the mistaken self, the objective self we have adopted as being self. But then, if it can be observed, it is then other, isn't it? This division, duality, yet something again can recognize even this aspect of self. So, what or where is this? Can it be defined? If beingness or being in the now is a state of observable being, is it still true to you? I feel yes. Observation is limited to simply that. In its nature, it can only be what it is observed as. Consciousness of I cannot be seen, as the observer is outside of this self. In being this, there is no perception. Perceived self is not self, but rather the other. Perception is limited to understanding. The question now is, who or what is trying to understand? And understand any one thing. I leave that to you to think about. Do you see a difference between self and mind? Well, when asked that question, my answer was that mind is a tool of body, and I feel it serves only the self-preservation of a human. True self is not dependent on this device, and therefore mind should be seen as a limitation of the is, a psychological defect of a human, if you will. The psychological mind is analytical and limited by structure, and it controls. This is not the I inside, not the aware self, for self is beyond mind. Consciousness in motion cannot be contained and is not thinking, as it is already all. This statement, I choose my I, is this a choice or a declaration? Well, I feel both. Are you it prior to the choice? They ask. Yes. Therefore, there is no action needed, only the me. But then again, choice is also secondary to this state. But choice is a tool of progress to becoming more, I guess. No action, but recognition perhaps. But I ask, what is the fundamental difference between the two if both are experienced in consciousness? Wouldn't becoming more be an illusion? Why? Why would you say that any one thing is set? Any one thing is set? Any definition in its principle is limited to only that perception. If I is, I am of the opinion that it is in motion of itself. And then there was just this random one-liner that I found a while back. I can't remember with regards to what did I write this, but I will leave you with this. Therefore change is me, and I is busy. I is not simply aware, nor is it just here. We tend to think of existence in terms of origin and destination. I think this is limiting us to those planes. I think we are moving and becoming.